Who is that?
I got typos.
Many a typos. That
Man,
ain't
Rashad.
my name. And for sure ain't no Dominique.
Yeah, my bad. Wait, Dominic?
You know,
QUE? Man, I done called you
NIC.
Shaadie forever, man. My bad.
Might as well just say Shaadie then.
I know, I should have.
You don't say all the Madonna names.
Come on.
One name game. There it is.
Born, you know, threw me out all the place. I did mess your name up though. But a government name?
What, girl?
I ain't know.
These heard me to the Rashid
Right.
Wallace. Dominique. Nah.
Man, that lets you know how we go anyway. Born July 1st, 1986 at 7:05 a.m. to Roderick and Delicia Nunley.
Man, what you get? Wikipedia?
No, I'm coming correct now.
Old bio.
No, it's not. Grandmother was a huge influence.
Yeah.
Professional pianist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't get past the 6th grade from Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
Come on, man.
Damn,
Don't
where
sleep.
the book at? Where that book at?
You wrote it. Born in County of Kings in Lemoore, California. Grew up in the infamous country. I didn't know it was called Country Club Crest.
It was white people, bro. Till we came in that thing.
3
in the
C's.
80s. You know it?
3 C's. I don't
Country
know.
Club. Yeah, that's what it was.
All right.
That was just the crest.
North Carolina.
E.
Fluoride. His origins are Georgia, North Carolina, and Virginia, by way of Trinidad,
Kingston,
Tobago,
y'all man.
and Kingston, Jamaica. He actually finished high school in Sacramento before coming to Cal, and he withdrew. Like I said,
I get it pretty
there is a difference though.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a difference. My bad. Once again, Shaadie. I mean Rashid.
You said that was Rashid the dropout.
Man, my bad. The first in Cal's track and field history in over 40 years to be offered and sign a full track and field scholarship. What does that actually mean?
That you under the pimpage.
Okay. You ran the 100 and 200 meters?
One long jump, 4x1 was the main. I did the 2-2, but my strongest was the long jump, 100 and relays.
Okay. You want to throw out some impressive numbers? Okay. He was part of the Fam First family, along with Marshawn, Rob Jordan, and Verdell Larkins. He actually co-founder of the
Made
Twist
it in
and
your
Hook.
class. Not in this room, but I think we was in Gwinnett.
Right on.
We made it in your class.
Okay. Man, I didn't see my name.
It's
In the Wikipedia.
See, that's because it's old information. You got to get the updated one.
Okay.
And I got some tracks. That's why you know.
You have 2 boys?
1, 2, 1
Right.
born, 1 stepson.
Okay. Can we announce
Daughter on the way.
daughter on the way?
First daughter.
And currently you work for the Department of Industrial Relations?
Damn, just say the state of California. Anybody Google that, man. Yeah, I work for the state. It's
Man, I'm
city.
trying to get all this formal stuff.
Like, Shaadie down in here.
My Clipper card, my work ID.
Yeah.
I really don't know where I work.
It's the timeless chair.
I can't find the boy.
I have infinite potential in a limited environment. A nigga steady working, but it ain't nobody hiring. I am not retiring, spitting in the booth. I'm just finally realizing my moment of truth. The same niggas you came up with, tails tucked quick. It's funny how these roughneck niggas hate rough shit. How can I be trusted if trust is worthless? That's like offering the shirt off your back when you shirtless. Finding life's purpose is the purpose of life. Ain't nothing The pure came in this world since the birth of the Christ. And people still debating that, turning opinions into facts, telling me history is wrong like whites never hated blacks. Indians are from India, they not Native Americans, and the Pilgrims pillars their village. Yeah. It's me, no, it's me, team, and this is how I swing. Like a batter, strike three. Instantly, I can see another coward as he's cowering, climbing up the corporate ladder, but he'll never tower me. Shower me with dry heaves, choking up on every note. I'm hotter than the flip of a brick, while you just blowing smoke. Watch me flow like the water in the river of denial, but I'm never in it. I'm just kicking it, thinking about these differences and how they're all so similar. Laughing as you chicken shit, sneaking up like vinegar. I sounded like a rock and you sounded like a pebble, and I don't give a fuck. Is the words from a rebel. I'm an angel to the devil.
Thank you, Shaadie, for coming.
No problem, thanks for having me.
And probably the first question I want to ask, we've been dealing with the issue of growing up. A lot of black males in the class too have acknowledged growing up single parent household. We talked about not having a father and how that can be a lot more significant than probably what we've acknowledged or realized, possibly in looking at the status or the state of the black community. So how was your relationship with your father, or how has your relationship with your father evolved? So at what points, at significant points in your life, what were some of the significant kind of stages of your relationship with your father, if you don't mind sharing?
Age 2, age 9, age 14, age 16, and then adulthood. Those were the -2. Those are the 3 times I see my dad. At 9, at 11, 4 times. From between 2 and adulthood, age 9, age 12, age 14, age 16. And that was my relationship from it. How it started before I met him when I was 9. My first actual meeting of him, I actually have the picture of me meeting him. I was at AAU baseball tournament in Florida, Wide World Sports, and I'm sitting, about to go up to bat. My grandparents there, both sets of grandparents, because my dad's grandparents were still cool, my mom and everything. You know, we back south, like I said, I was always back and forth, Georgia, North Carolina. I'm sitting, next thing you know, the whole fam start crying. What's going on? And the rest of the team is like, I think your dad coming. Like, I ain't never met my dad. How you know what my dad coming? And we in Florida? Well, your grandparents is crying, and here come your mama, and that nigga look just like you. Okay. Walk up, she like, this your dad, da-da-da-da. What's up? That's it, took a picture, all of that, had a sick little incident that night. Didn't see him again until in Virginia, Christmas. Ding dong. This nigga walk in. Where did you come from? How do you know where we at? Like, we don't talk. You don't speak to my mom, you know, one conversation maybe a year. Maybe a promise of this. Get a little dough from that, your sub off that check. You know, child support, for y'all don't know what your sub is when you get a check. It's your sub when you get that thing on your check, but get a few money, you know what I mean? He'll skip steak, we don't get nothing again for nothing. So I really didn't know it was like increments. Pop in, by the time I was 14, mom knock on the door like, your dad is at the Holiday Inn, which happened to be right across the street from Marine World in the Crest. I'm like, so? You know, 13, 14 now, man, nigga, you been gone. I don't care now. You know, I done hit that puberty stage. You know, when, you know, a man, when you come from a boy to a man from age 12, 13, you know, that age from 13, 14, 15, we start getting a little muscle, start growing, start doing some different things. We start getting that little feeling, you feel me? Fuck that nigga, I don't care. So that was my attitude then. And then the next time was before, you know, when went to SAC and I'm long jumping out the building, I'm running past everything. Of course, she's showing up to state meet now, but I still never had no hard feelings. My mom never said nothing bad about him. I made my own whatevers about him. And I think at 14 was when I let him know about everything that I knew. The only incident that I said before age 9 was age 2. And I didn't know it was a real incident. I always had a reoccurring dream that my mom was getting in a fight or something was happening at this hotel. My dad came and grabbed me. Dude pulled a gun. It was weird. It was like a movie in my head, but I would have this dream like all the way up until till about 13, 14. I was always having this dream that I would remember probably from like age 6, 7, always remember it. I used to tell my mom. I told her one day and she broke down crying and didn't tell me why. When I met my dad for the second time at 14, I told him, like, nigga, I always had this dream, man. And he told me that's what happened. That wasn't no dream, it was a memory. And he started crying, that's why I knew it was real. So I broke everything down just from my memory, like, man, it was that real, and that's really what it was. You know, he left mom's. We was homeless in a hotel in Lemoore. She wasn't trying to come back to the Crest, the grandma house. You know what I mean? We didn't have nothing, so she just, we there. He had his old girlfriend and stuff went wrong. She came running to my mama. He come running after her drunk. Her brother come running after all of that. He snatched me up, come back, you know, and we get back in the house. It's the brother with the gun. Pointed at my dad and me in his arms. And that was my only image I knew until all the rest of the stuff. And it led up to, you know, now being grown, we cool, you know. You don't know me as a kid or anything like that. You can know me as a man. And as he got, you know, started growing in things, it was cool, but he was never around. My mom was my dad.
When you say your mom was your dad, we've actually had
A couple people say that.
yeah, a few
My
people
grandparents.
say that, but then we actually talked about how it's almost impossible
It is.
for your mom to be your dad.
It is.
So
And it was really my grandma. My mom was working and going to school. You know what I mean? We in a 3-bedroom ex-crack house for $600 my whole life. Landlord never moved up the rent or nothing. $600, just straight. So I was there since age of 2 to 16, 14 years of my life. 1200 Griffin Drive, right there in that White House, still telling crackheads, nah, this nigga don't live here no more. Stop coming knocking at my door, bro. Like, that's old, but it was my grandma. You know, my grandpa going to work, my mom going to school and work, doing what she got to do to get to the position, you know, of PhDs and all that, where she at now. So I was really with my grandma. Go to school on my own, you know, 6, 7 years old, walking to the bus, and then they bust us from the other neighborhood. They didn't even stop in the Crest. Like, the school district wouldn't stop in the Crest. I never got no pizza delivery till I was 17 and moved to Sacramento. Like, we didn't get nothing. Everybody was scared of the Crest. Nobody comes sleep over in my house because their parents are scared. I can't do homework assignments, and I'm in the GATE program. You know what I mean? Gifted, intelligent education. I'm the one black with the rest of the Filipinos, and I can't have no group unity at my house, because they like, nah, he live in the Crest. He live in the country club. You're not going over there, so now I got to find a way to go all the way to another side of Vallejo just to do a science project. And my mom ain't home. And I got practice.
But were there, outside of the home and the house, were there other role models? Where did you get this kind of notion of success that kept you on track, school-wise, to even make it into Berkeley? You see what I mean?
Well, I mean, I just have the respect for my mom. I never liked school. I told them that elementary. School wasn't for me, and I don't
Why
know.
not? Why not?
It just wasn't, for me personally, it felt like a waste of time. At a certain point, like
Go deep into that. Why, like,
I'm smart, and I knew it, and it was boring.
okay.
Point
I hear
blank.
so many
Like, it was
young brothers say
boring.
that.
For one, it was boring. 2, it just didn't feel like I didn't feel like I needed it, and I felt that at a young age. I was picking out teachers and reading people and knowing how the teachers gonna act. You know, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew the game on how to act and play the teachers and do all this stuff. And
Okay.
I knew the game of life before the school stuff. So once you figure out that life game, it's like, what do I need the school for? But I'm gonna respect my mom to go to school. She's a professor, she all this stuff, she instilled that stuff. So I got my, you know, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. My grandpa whooped my ass, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm still old school as far, I'm gonna respect my parents and and do, show them what they need to see me doing. But that ain't gonna stop me from being me, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna stop I from being I. I'm still gonna do what I wanna do. But I'm gonna be smart enough to do it the way that they, you know, I'm gonna handle what they need to handle too, you know what I mean? They tell me to go to the stove and no stopping. I'm probably gonna stop, but I'm gonna just make sure I ain't gonna get caught. You know what I mean? Just little things like that. But from a school standpoint, it was just like, other than me, myself, feeling like I didn't need it, then it was the outside elements of you black, you this, you that, I'm stereotyped, I'm this. So it's like, why do I want to come to school? Why do I want to be in these smart classes and take these tests and do all this stuff if they don't care about it then? And this is elementary. This ain't even middle school, high school, none of that stuff. By then, it was like sports. That's it. That's going to get me through. But that was really the only thing that kept it lit was the sports. And you got to, if I want to do sports, I got to go to school. Luckily, thankfully, fortunately for me, I'm smart enough to get through school without sweating. So my problem was just showing the potential for what? I'll get these C's and not have to use my brain as hard as I need to and use it in the directions that I want to use it. So don't be mad at me because I'm not using the full potential of what you think I should do as a student from a teacher standpoint when I'm giving you what you're asking for and I'm doing what I need to do for myself. Everybody's happy in my eyes. That's why it was so easy for me to leave Cal. It was still like, I'm going to church events and everybody is, you know, it's 10 other blacks that went to college, that's going to college or scholarships coming out of OFO, you know what I mean? And it's Tennessee State and, you know, it's Solano Junior College. Rashad Nunley is going to UC Berkeley. I think going to school too. Like, does it matter because he going to, you know, Country Town JC? Like, he's still leaving the same neighborhood I'm leaving. He's still leaving the same city I'm leaving to get his education. And he may even have a different route, a better plan than I do. Why does it matter I'm going to Cal? You know what I mean? And when I'm here, why does it matter I got the full scholarship? Why does all of that, any of that matter? Why does it matter about that paper that says University of Cal degree when I leave here? I'm still going to go to the job and have to learn the job. I'm still going to have to train.
Okay.
It's a piece of paper. Why do I have to get a C and not a D? D is passing. It don't say your grade on the degree. The only D is the degree. It don't say A, B, plus. You know what I mean? So, like, I figured all that out
We never
early.
had this conversation.
You know, but I figured all that early. Like, so
Like,
that's why I guess, you know what I mean, to come back, the only reason why I was going to school was out of respect for my parents and to continue my sports. I was doing the same thing I'm doing now back then. Go to school, go to practice, hop on the bike, get the dro, go to bruh house, work on music. Come back home, spray down. Hey, mama. Finish my homework, eat, wake up, do it again. What happened when I got to high school? Same thing, except I'm driving. What happened when I left? Now I ain't going to mama's house. Now I'm going to dorm. Now I'm going to my apartment. It's the same routine. Except I was just in the cycle of, let me go to school, let me go to class, let me do this, let me do that. I was compromising myself. And I always felt like, man, I'd rather just go to a trade school, especially after I broke my arm freshman year of football. Like, I was football. So once I couldn't do football, or once the football was kind of like, are you going to go to college for football? I didn't know about no track college or none of that stuff. Like, I knew I was fast, but I'm a small cat. I ain't never been big, but you can't catch me on the field. So when I heard that and doing the track stuff, it was like, I'd rather just go to school for music or go to trade school if I got to do the school thing. But just out of respect for the fam, was the only reason why I went to school. So I really wouldn't say I had like a school person role model. I just respected my mama's wishes. I don't even really like to say like role models or nothing, because a role is implying they acting. So I look at, you're a real model. Like, you're a real model for me. You're a model. I want to be a model to others. I want to be a role model, because that's implying to me if you playing a role right here when I walk out. You know what I mean? Like, do I really look like this? Do I really act like this? No. So I really didn't have, it wasn't a choice to go to school, but you know, I just did what I had to do in the moment, follow mom's wishes, and still do what I felt was what I wanted to do at the same time. So.
Now, I hear a lot of cats younger than yourself who say they're bored with school. I was just talking to a 17-year-old. Same thing he said at Fremont. He said it's not challenging in class, so he doesn't go. Or he just gets C's.
True,
Which I don't really understand that all the way, but.
At that moment, I don't understand it looking back now. But.
That was my next question. Do you have, in hindsight, looking back, would you have made the same choice in choosing to leave Berkeley? Or is there any, I don't want to use the word regret, but would you do any things different, maybe knowing what you know now?
Yeah, I would have went to another school.
Okay.
I probably would have took that scholarship for the state that they offered. I was offered
Why?
Knowing what I know now, it was a bad situation.
Well, we don't know what you know.
Oh, yeah. Well, why? Because it's better. Like, but
well, why is it better?
at the time,
Break it down.
At the time here at Cal, like I said, I came 04. I did summer bridge in Channing, 04. Left in the second semester, 06. Like I said, I came in with Sean. That's my family. That's cousins. We call each other brother. We're considered brother. Me, Sean, Rob. We came in kind of like the whole class. We all grew up together. Vallejo Generals, Oakland Saints. Like, we kind of all knew each other. So when we ended up coming here, it was like, oh, bruh, what's up, cuz? I ain't seen you. We keep hearing each other through high school, and, you know, see each other on TV here and there. And we came here, it's kind of like a cool little click up. So that was probably the best thing, other than just like freedom of being free as finally, you know, adulthood and all that stuff. But at that time, Cal was like according to, you know, alumni and others that was around, it was kind of like on a slide from all the faces you see in here becoming less and less. You know what I'm talking about? So my class actually, and not only was like it was like a big deal between not just like general population, but like school population, the black community of school. Like, everybody knew like Cal's not really being as liberal or not being as colored as it used to be, and you know, it's so many people here. It's like affirmative action. It was a lot of stuff going on in that time and era that was draining, that some would see as positive and negatives. Like I said, I was the first to get a full scholarship in the history here in 40 plus years. It was at that time the #2 school behind, I think, like Yale or Harvard, and the #1 public institution. And this is like in the world, you know what I mean? So it is a big deal being a young black inner city hood nigga like myself, you feel me, to be here and to be accepted and to handle it. You know what I mean? But we had a small class. Out of the so many thousands of class freshmen that was here, it was only a few hundred that was black, and only out of that few hundred that was black, half was scholarship athletes. Out of that other half that wasn't scholarship, half of them was affirmative action. So it was kind of like, you're here for this reason. Off top, soon as I walk on campus, no Cal track and field gear, no Cal football gear, no nothing. What sport do you play? Huh? What? What you mean what sport I play? My first incident was at, I forget the class, but summer bridge. Doing the thing. She asked me, how do you have these terminologies? Why she couldn't get why my, I guess, hood vernacular or whatever thesis and hypothesis I was using that we can relate to is urban, you know, streetwise, and apply it to the things that we learn here. She didn't get it. She didn't understand it. And then happened to tell me that you're not going to always be able to play football, so da-da-da-da-da. And I said, who said I play football? This is a known fact. Now, like, this is summer. Nobody's here, so you should know who I am. Who said I play football? Oh, so is it basketball? I'm 5'8". This ain't the 90s no more. You know what I mean? I'm not here on no hoop scholarship. No, I don't play basketball either. Oh, so you don't play any sports? And so not only am I supposed to play football, and if it's not football, it's basketball, and if I'm not playing that, then I don't play sports at all. I golf. That's what I told her. I golf. I golf. What? Oh, nah, man. So that was my first incident of being like, it ain't nothing different. It ain't nothing changed. I'm already categorized. Not only am I an athlete, if I'm not an athlete in a particular sport, then I'm affirmative action. If I'm not affirmative action, how the fuck you get here? And some people would literally ask me that. Well, how you get in? I got a 3.2. Well, so-and-so had a 4.0 and da-da-da, and I bet you all they do is books. They're not going to practice. They're not waking up and going to weights. They're not going to meetings. They're not going to tutor sessions. Us as athletes we have to go to school, especially like I said in a full scholarship. While I'm getting pimped to run, y'all have seen higher learning. This shit is real. You know what I mean? Run, nigga, run. Like that's all it is. The whole scholarship thing, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like you're their asset. And we talked about it as far as the standpoint for musical. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? You sign yourself to them. I used to model, I used to act, I used to do all these other stuff. I had casting agency people coming here wanting me to run for Microsoft and doing these commercials. I can't because I'm NC2A regulated. So I got to stay broke and homeless and can't take this 3-day commercial that's shooting for $300 a day. You know what I mean?
But Florida would have just been...
Florida would have been...
Better deal?
They take care of their athletes. They, you know what I mean? Straight up. They take care of their athletes. They take care of they take care of their own. Cause here we had 2 different schools.
That's true.
I'm a UC Berkeley student and I'm a Cal athlete. Look at all your gear. Any athletes in here? Any athletes in here? What's your gear say?
Cal. And they should say UC Berkeley.
I never thought about that. We go to 2 different schools. Yeah. We go to 2 different schools. Straight up. And that's just how it is here. You know what I mean? And I wasn't the first one to leave my scholarship. I wasn't the last one. You know what I mean? I may have been the most prominent, maybe, but I was a part of the #1 recruiting class. My class of 04 track and field, we were the #1 recruiting class in the nation over SC, over LSU, over Texas, over all them other powerhouses. Because Coach Huffins at the time went and recruited nothing but #1s all over. Now, I really didn't like that because I need some sprinters. You know what I mean? It's cool, we got some throwers and all these other people, but I'm the one sprinter on a 4x1 team. We need 3 others, not just one. Right. You know what I mean? Sprinter, and then you pull a dude from hurdles and all. Right. We was cool, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm the only one out here running 10-2, 10-3, and I'm a freshman. Right. I didn't want to get junk thrown into the fire of being the man all over again. I ain't never learned. I didn't know track. I just know run, and then when I go jump, run and then jump. And I just happen to jump over 25 feet. I just happen to be the #1 in the nation for high school, for college, top 3 in the world. You know what I mean? At that time, at 17 years old.
What right now, after saying everything you said, what do you think of maybe the biggest misconception people who are non-athletes or what do you think the biggest misconception is about student athletes?
We got it easy.
And why? Could you speak on that?
Well, if, for instance, my brother, Money Lynch, Marshawn Lynch. Billboards, commercials, calendars. I was on calendars, all the same stuff. We're put out there. Just like these music people. These got chains, cars, videos, girls, boys, all that. I mean, for the female ones, you know what I mean? They have the boys. Us men got the girl, you know what I mean? But I mean, as like an artist, you're getting put out there with this facade, with this persona, with this perception of you got it made. And that ain't nothing different. I just watched a little thing on the Fab Five from Michigan.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing. And when I'm looking at them like, that's the same trials I'm going through. Everybody thinking, because they out and they in front of everything. You know what I mean? They got all of this, they got all of that. We may go somewhere and get some free food and da-da-da. We're thankful for that free food. Because when we come home, we ain't got nothing but noodles and hot dog water. Not even the hot dog. Just the water. You ever soak hot dog bread in the water? It's good. Hey, you know what I mean? But on my recruitment trip, on my recruitment trip, we at the Denny's, he's stealing silverware. I said, bro, why you get a to-go tray and you ate all the food? Because we need silverware and hot sauce. Why do you have a to-go tray and you don't have no food? When the to-go tray came and the waitress walked away, everything that was on that table that he needed was in that to-go tray. Silverware, spoons, forks, the little ranch dip, everything. I'm like, this is how y'all living? And then when I got here, I'm full blown in it. And then I'm on a different level. Because, like you said, you know who I'm with? I'm with the men of the school. I am one of the men of the school. But I can't even go to city nights. Because my ID say Vallejo. And the rest of the niggas I with got dreads. Or we got a polo on and not a full button up. We still get classed. But the whole line is like, you're such and such. Shaadie, Marshawn. We get to the front of the line, y'all gotta go. But our perception is we got it made. Wow. And we don't help. We didn't make it help because we were still at the parties and doing all the same stuff with everybody else. But the thing that the general, the student population didn't realize was we were missing something. So when you see us at that party with y'all or that event at 8 o'clock, we probably skipped the meeting, skipped the, we had some GSI sign us in for our tutor session and walk out, you know what I mean, right up there. Cesar Chavez, I know y'all probably still doing it. But we missing something. Y'all non-student, non-athletes, y'all gotta worry about, I mean, not to say y'all not worrying about a lot of stuff as well, but all the same stuff that they worry about, we worrying about, except we have something that you're not worried about. Our sport, our practice. And don't let you be either the man who's the man or the man who's not the man, because you gotta work hard either way. Extra hard. If you the man who's the man, you got the pressure of being a man and staying a man and looking like the man. And if you was the man and now you at the school and you not the man no more and you trying to be the man again, now you got that extra pressure of trying to be the man. Right. And that's just the sport. Then I gotta wake up and walk my little ass from Dwight and MLK up all these hills. Tired, sore, ass hurting. You know what I mean? Running track, lifting weights, doing all this stuff. Right. Probably had a, you feel me, a turn-up night. Back then, we wasn't saying turn-up 03, we was going. So I was probably going the night before. I was probably going. I'm still ripper. I'm still hungover, whatever the case may be of being that college student life, but I'm a college student athlete. And in most cases, I'm a college athlete student. Because you didn't get me into this school for my grades. Every single recruiter, every single coach looked at me, knew my stuff. Before they even knew the intelligence, they sit down on my couch, lay out everything they could do, let me know I'm a top tier athlete, and straight up tell me all you need is 700. Like in Boys in the Hood. Well, this shit is real. 700? Like you can literally, some literally told me you can just close your eyes and take your SATs. You're that type of athlete. Cal didn't want me. Coach Huffins had to write a letter for Cal to be like, okay, he's willing to come because of my non-exemplary academic, whatever you want to call it, status from high school. Because I was doing what I need to do to stay eligible. Because I need to practice, because I'm doing the same thing in high school to get to the next level. So I'm sorry if I don't have all the A's and B's to be able to be at Cal to where you're thinking he's not going to handle the curriculum. Oh, no, I can. But they don't know that through the entry. So it's like we got to prove a whole bunch as an athlete on top of if you're smart. Because then you got it all and you don't deserve it because they automatically think you don't. Especially if you're playing like football or something like that. You know what I mean? So.
What would you say, not to the student athlete, but I think we've heard in this class a lot from people who may talk to the student athlete and talk about the necessity to stay in school, the importance of education, the importance to finish and get your degree. What would you say to that person as being a former student athlete? I don't want to put you in agree or disagree, but just kind of leave it out there for you. What would you say to that person? Let's say if you're in the class now and you know, like back then in 07 or 06, that like tomorrow you're about to go do your withdrawal papers, and then somebody is giving this speech about how important school is and staying in school. What do you think you would say to that person? Maybe now. I know what you would probably say then. Or both. What would you say then?
I would say the same thing that I told the people that was saying that speech even when I was there. I'm going to do what I need to do for me. And that's what I would tell the next person. Do what you need to do for yourself. Not everybody's path is a school. Now, if you know you need to be in school for whatever degree or whatever occupation you feel you need to be doing, and that's your route and that's your path, don't let nobody veer you off. And that's in life. That's my general thing regardless. Apply that to everything. Do for self. Know yourself and just follow that. So if school ain't for you and you're not in school for you,
you don't necessarily miss the degree from Berkeley.
No.
For like,
no,
for making your living,
exactly.
Your
no.
path?
No, I feel like I got a head start. And
Okay.
others have told me they feel like they got a head start. And I was feeling that in the middle of it then. Like, damn, I could be here doing this, I can be doing that. And once I start realizing, for one, the sport wasn't keeping me here. And that was the only thing, like I said, sports was what got me through school. So once that was kind of like, I'll walk away from that, I was never in school no way. I didn't need to go to class, especially in college. Come on now, I test out of everything. I test out all this stuff. I ain't never took no English, no math, no nothing, none of that. Because I go right to the office and be like, what can I prove I'm smart enough not to take? There's tests that you can take and classes you can take and not have to do none of the stuff. Me knowing my brain, me knowing myself, me knowing I need to have more time to do what I want to do rather than what they think I need to do, I'm going to figure out how to get around all that but fulfill all those stuff. So for the person who may be thinking, follow your gut, follow your heart, follow your mind's eye, and just do what you need to do for yourself and your path and make it happen. Because I left and went to school and got my AA and took other time off and had kids and got a job and all this stuff, all while my same brothers that I was here at school with was still going through finishing school. And when they got done and got their degree, they was right back in the shady 80s with their mama working at whatever job, learning the stuff. In the same spot as me. Working. Still training for their sport or doing the same thing just like I'm still training or still working with my music. We was all in the same boat. Except you got that degree that say UC Berkeley on it. And I got the AA that say, Sac City. But so. Like it don't, that piece of paper don't show all my knowledge, don't show my work, don't make me, so I can care less.
How would you describe yourself as a father, or before you even had kids? Did you have a vision or a goal for yourself as being a father? Were there certain things you wanted to accomplish or to live out with your opportunity to be a father? Or has it just been in the moment?
I kind of like in the moment, and then I think as I keep growing, I try to figure out different ways of maneuvering and handling things. But I think my overall goal always, just as a, not even just as a father, but just as a man and as a elder to someone, I just always wanted to share my knowledge, share my experiences, share my thoughts, my views, but at the same time, get through to whoever I'm sharing with, whether it is my child or just another peer or something, to still take in and process it the way that you want and apply it to you how you feel it needs to apply. Pertaining to my son, both of them, you know, it's a different time. It's a lot. You got to be like real street savvy and street smart like now. Like everybody's damn near on the same plane. And for a black man,
What does that mean?
all right. What year y'all graduated? What year you graduated?
When y'all graduate?
Out of high school. Nah, out of high school.
I graduate next year.
What you?
2016.
2016. So you still? Is it all your high school?
No, I'm a graduate.
Oh, you graduated.
Oh, high school.
Graduated high school.
Please so.
You graduated 2012. Okay. Anybody from like 08, 09? Anybody younger than? I mean, older than that? Nobody like 06, 07. All right, I'm 04. Feel me? Bruh, 08. What technology you got? What kind of phone you got? How long you done had it? Like, did you have a phone through high school?
Yeah.
You was text messaging and all that stuff, right? Computer, everything. I was writing letters. You feel me? Writing letters. My high school senior year, 04, was kind of like right when technology phones was coming in. A few of us had phones. And we couldn't call everybody because not everybody had cell phones. So it was like, what I need this for? Now what I mean everybody's on the same plane is the 18-year-old, the 27-year-old man working a job with the phone, with the girl, with the Coogee, the LRG, the tax, look just like the 15-year-old. Probably even less. The nigga for sure is bigger than me. So he looking like he's 30. You feel me? But in my age coming up, we didn't have a lot of the same stuff that y'all got. So we didn't have a lot of the preservatives in our foods, the steroids, a lot of the stuff. So a lot of the people, you can tell age brackets then. Bro, how old is you right here with the dreads? How old are you?
31.
How old are you?
26.
Okay, stand up for me. Just stand up one time real quick, bro. Stand. Well,
Both of
just
them?
tell me, how tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
How tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
How tall are you? Now tell me how many over 6 feet young people, how many brothers was 6'4", 3 when we was...
Not that many. Not that many.
Exactly. It's probably still more your age, and y'all are still around the same height, 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot, 5'9", 5'8". Walk around now? 6'3", 4, 5, 8, 10, and then it's the girls. So I'm like, all on the same plane. You know what I mean? That's what I mean on the same plane. The same, and because I'm 26 and I got 10 years on a 17-year-old, and he may even say, you know, I'm working, I got bills to pay, I'm doing my thing. To the 42-year-old, young brother, you doing your thing. To the 17-year-old, nigga, you ain't get out here and get no money. He pulling out his stack. It wasn't like that when I was 17 looking at a 27-year-old. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get up there to you. But nowadays, everything is so close. Everything is so on the same plane. You got to damn near teach them young to get with it, get with it, get with it. And I'm knowing this firsthand because I may have, you know, my sons may be left behind with something and they want other things that other kids got, but that kid is more advanced. But you're the same age. But he got an iPod and I don't have an iPod.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. So what does that mean for you as a father?
You have to let them know, ain't none of that important right now. for you at 5 years old, for you at 7 years old, for you at 10 years old. Who cares about that? You can get on the computer and YouTube all your Spider-Mans and all that stuff, but you can't do your math homework. And you can't read this regular question, and you can't notice that it's a pattern in this problem to this next problem. Use your mind the way you need to use it for life, and stop worrying about all the Joneses. It's conversations that I remember hearing on TV, and I remember hearing from my mom and my grandparents when I'm 14, 15, and I'm having this conversation with a 6-year-old boy. I gotta tell my son, Daddy not finna get you the black socks with the Nike sign. I'ma just get you the black socks. But I need to have my cargo pants, and then I have to have the Vans with the tube. No, you don't. For what? Why? I wasn't worried about the type of clothes, the name, the brand. That was the stuff we worried about grown. So instead of telling my son to go outside and have fun and play and get roughed up and handle your own, I gotta worry about him doing all of that, but hearing him sing some 2 Chainz song and then some other little 9-year-old chick twerking on him on the playground. Like, come on. These are grown people things to deal with. Not for no adolescent, no youth. So they all on the same plan. It's like, for a man like I that's recognizing this and knowing this, I'm not just running out on my kids and letting them do whatever they want to do or figure out that stuff. I'm trying to mold you into your own individual first. Then you can make those decisions on what badge you want to follow or what you want to choose and do all of that stuff. But that doesn't define you now. And that's what they're getting taught now. They're having grown people arguments. I'm mad because he got the better shoes than I got. Y'all running around. What club are you going to? What event are you going to that you got to show your clothes off? I understand you may feel good to be in some better clothes and doing those things, but even just that thought process of having that understanding of I put on a certain clothes, I feel good because I look good. What? You're 5. Count to 30. You feel me? So it's like, it's harder now as a responsible parent. It's easy to be irresponsible because they have so much stuff for the kids to be on their own. See, that's the difference. We was outside playing and running around and doing that stuff. Our parents stressed a different way. Aside from the neighborhood and all the things that's happening, lights come on, come in, you know what I mean? My mom just had to stand outside and yell, Richard! Oh, shit. Now you damn near got a call because they didn't hopped on a bike or with somebody else that done went hella far. They done GPS something. Or they mad like, you need to give me your iPod. I need to listen to my music as I walk. No, you don't. Pay attention to your surroundings. You know what I mean? Pay attention to the stranger with what happened to stranger danger. And all this stuff. Now kids is walking up to, my son walking up to grown women. I like, yo, you don't talk to strangers. You don't initiate a conversation. It's like I said, it's easy to be irresponsible. Get on the Xbox, get on the PS3, get on the tablet, get on this, entertain yourself. Mommy, daddy got business to handle for ourselves. We gotta interact and do other things.
In your opinion, what do you think is the biggest obstacle to successful black romantic relationships? We've been talking about the concept of maybe black love, black relationships. What do you think is the biggest obstacle to successful?
Our mindset as a people in any way, regardless. Not even, you gotta, like I said, again, it goes back to just knowing yourself as a person, as an individual first, of knowing what you want, doing this, being set in that, not even being set in that, but being open and things. I think us as blacks, we don't know our role. That's the time to have a role in a relationship, to me, and to call me old-fashioned or whatnot. But there's masculine and there's feminine. There's man and there's woman. Not to say you do this and you do that and these type of things, but a man wants to feel like a man. A woman wants to feel loved. Sometimes people don't remember those key little fundamentals of understanding or of communication. if you're in a relationship with a person and that's who you want to be with, or you say that's who you want to be with, and feel you want to be with, accept that person. Understand them, work with them as you work on yourself. And hopefully they're doing the same thing, working on themselves as they're working together with you and accepting your faults and all these other things. Right now, we too worried about the next person's relationship about our relationship. Or we getting advice from people that's been in totally different situations that can't help our relationship. It's like, know yourself. Know what situation you're in and communicate with that person to get to where y'all want to be. And if y'all don't, then don't. It ain't nothing to force, it ain't nothing. We not open. We not open with ourselves. That's why I say we not open with ourselves as a people on how we are. We're lost. We trying to figure our way, and then we trying to have a girlfriend, but then you trying to be with the boys, and then use an athlete, and your girl, she might be tripping on the other girls that might be liking you because you cute or whatever. It's like, you got with me because I look good. I got with you because you look good. Why I'm going to be mad that everybody else think you look good? Like, it's a whole bunch of other stuff that we not worried about. I don't see none of that stuff with maybe the Asian community or the white community with they stuff. They accepting they stuff. I mean, from what I know of the few relationships of the white people that I know or I've seen and dealt with and talked with them, they should just like business propositions. You know, they in it for whatever they in, whatever their communication is. My family is this, and we do this, and yours is this. We're a good match. You know what I mean? We team up good together. Us, we like, she thick. I'm on it. You feel me? We go at it the wrong way, and then she looking at bruh like, he swagged out. Like, we got too much of this other stuff that don't mean nothing. So just know yourself and be in whatever relationship you're in and work that out until you don't want to work that out no more. But at least try and be honest and open. I mean, everything has to be honest, open, and communicative with in general. So if you holding something back, don't expect that other person to give it back. You know what I mean? Even if the true first, like I said, them whites and them others, they only deal with their certain people or deal with certain things, and you know that. We be trying to keep up with everything. And it ain't gonna happen.
What would you want people to know about Shaadie that they possibly can't get from just looking at a trailer or a video or listening to a song? What would you want to offer people, you know, in an opportunity for you to go more into detail?
For me as an artist, I would try to say I'm multi-dimensional and things like that, but I kind of want to. I don't want you as a fan or as a consumer or as an outside to just label me as anything or say he can only be this or only be that. As an artist, I want y'all to expect the unexpected or expect higher things or new things, surprising things, just thought-provoking things, things that are have some type of substance. Still witty, still entertaining. I want to be looked at as everything that everybody's wanting at any point in time. That means you need somebody to speak some type of motivation or inspiration, you can find that Shaadie track. If you want to get into that party mode, you can find that Shaadie track. I don't want to be set in a certain category of he's only this type to where when you hear me on something else, it's like, that shit don't sound right. Like, that Shaadie with so-and-so? Like, when you see me with Elton John, you're like, oh, I know that's probably going to be clean. Because Shaadie always doing something different, but it go. Elton John, you know, that's the farthest left person I can think right now. But, you know what I mean? I want people to expect the unexpected, but expecting still it to be great. It's still to be something refreshing and new and at base level, just real and honest. I want to expose the faults or just expose my views and make dialogue or thought provoking. I want people to see a lot of the same things that are happening just in a different light, from a different angle, from a different view, and be like, I never looked at it that way. Or I can, you know, you may have a negative perception on things and you don't even know it. and I give you a different view, and you're like, I could have looked at it that way. Okay. No, I know when and not to use it, and like I said again, you'll hear when it's real. The one white boy with all the blacks. Nigga, da-da-da-da, and you'll hear it, but you'll be like, that white boy just say that? It sounds good though, it rolled off his tongue right here. You know what I mean? You can tell he says that. Now the one who's acting and faking, it's like, nigga, what? Hey, my nigga, out there. But don't even say that around, bro. Like, you don't have to try to say, you know what I mean? It's just like the words you say. You can attribute that. You can say the same thing for bitch to the females. That used to be a harsh word for y'all. Bitches like y'all nigga. My bitches. Bad bitch. Bitch this, bitch that. Okay. I mean, some don't. I see you shaking your head no. And there's many definitions for that. Like, I used to do it back in the day. You know, what's a bitch? A beautiful, intelligent, thoughtful, caring human. Just like never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. You can put acronyms and all that stuff on everything. It's a damn word. So however you feel or the context or whatever it is used for that N-word, right now it's just a word, and I say shit, we should patent that and own it as a people. We created it. We changed the negative and made it into a positive like us as a people do with things that we dealt with, you know what I mean? Take the pig guts and make it a delicacy. Chitlins, you know what I mean? Chitterlings. You know what I mean? But that's what we do.
You know the effect chitterlings have on you though?
Nope, don't eat them. So I don't, besides the stats.
All right.
So I don't have the effect. The effect is, don't put them on my plate, Grandma.
Right.
That's the effect. But nah,
But nigga does have effect when you use it in certain.
Yeah, I know when not to use. I'm not ignorant with using it. I ain't just calling everybody nigga. I'm not at the DMV. My nigga, dude, I ain't doing none of that hype stuff. I mean, you see it. But like I said, I still don't even fault them. They may not know. They just street nigga and whatever. That's what they say. That's what they use. Whatever. But to the one that may know and do, those who I hold accountable for. You know what I mean? Me and you who know the context and when and where and may have these feelings, may understand other people's feelings. I may not say nigga when I'm with, you know, a group of my elders that are from that time that has that certain, you know what I mean? I may be mindful of, they have a certain way of hearing that word, especially seeing a young black man maybe doing it, you know what I mean? But
How old's your oldest son?
well,
Your son?
my son,
Yeah.
5. He'll be 6 in September.
Does he use nigga?
No.
What do you say when if he come home, be like, oh,
And say
nigga, yo, shit, that's a slap.
it's another word. I would start teaching him on when and how to use it, to be mindful, and that's when I teach and do the history. I don't really want to put no X or no block up. Don't do this, don't do that. That's the kind of parent I am. I'm not that kind of parent. I want you to learn and figure stuff out for yourself and be able to come back to me in confidence and being yourself. You know what I mean? Whether it's a question, whether it's I heard this and man, nigga, did I? You know, the first time when it does happen and I hear it, I'm on it. Where'd you hear it? Who said it? Why do you say it? Do you know what it means? You know, at those points. When he's able to handle that. Now at 5, if he came in and said nigga or something like that, don't say it. It's just shut down. You're not ready for that right now. Because other people that may hear it and attribute things. You know what I mean? But it's just about the times at the point. But me personally, you're going to hear it. Everybody going to say it. It's just know the history and figure out how you're going to use it. And I'll give you the tools and go about life.
How has being a father impacted either your the content of your lyrics or how you approach music as a business industry?
For one, first off to answer being a father and the content, once again, like I said, I'm kind of mindful, maybe of I'm not even gonna say kind of mindful. I am mindful of maybe just cuss words and things like that, and not just even for my kids, just in maturity and people saying, you know, you don't have to say some cuss words, and so sometimes it needs to be said. But if you don't have to put it, I'm not gonna force nothing. I'm still just gonna be genuine and say what comes out my mind and goes through my arm and comes out the pen of my fingers. And like I said, if they were to hear things in the future, stuff like that, they hear some of my songs now. You know what I mean? They kind of really not catching them. They just hearing and doing things. But when they do catch it, again, there's the lesson right there. You know what daddy mean? What do you think daddy mean? You know what I mean? What are you saying? Da, 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 da. It will be taught when that situation comes. But I let it flow. You know what I mean? And for a business standpoint, same thing. More so the middle finger to them because they grown. I'm grown. You ain't gonna censor me or stop me. I'm not gonna talk about what you want me to talk about unless it's something I want to talk about. But it still comes down to what I want to get off my chest, what I want to expose, what I want to share. And you can have it or not. You know what I mean? The way that I try to, I guess, camouflage or make it more digestible for the executives and for the consumer is to still give those key pieces of everything that everybody likes and still not be too preachy or flooded. You know what I mean? You drop stuff in here and there, but it's the type to where you might catch the beat and it's the ones like, okay, this is going to stay on rotation. But when you actually start listening, it's like, oh, this nigga witty, he funny. And then you start listening like, did you hear that? Like, you know what I mean? He said something clean. It's still, we still got to be a little coded. You know what I mean? You ain't trying to get it too out there, but they're not going to stop me. I'm not thinking about them when I'm writing. You know what I mean? Like, so I still try to be as natural as I want to be and kind of mindful, but it don't stop me from what I'm doing or what I'm writing.
Your daughter is born, are there certain values you think are important to instill in your daughter, like as a black man?
I think there's certain values you got to instill in general in your kids, boy or girl. But there's certain there's separate values that I would have to instill in her separately than my son, because they're gonna have two different type of upbringings. You know what I mean? In this society, as a black man and as a black woman, I can't really speak specifically now what they would be, like I said specifically, but I know what it would be the same thing that I tell grown people. Know yourself, figure out yourself, ask the questions that you need to ask, own the answer, and figure it out for yourself as you progress in your maturity. And I just want her to be comfortable as my sons are to be comfortable, to know that they can come to me and ask me whatever. They can be open and do all that stuff. I'm gonna give it to you not from the parent perspective, you know what I mean? Because I'm just a straight logic type, you know what I mean? So I can get out of that mode. Now, what I do have a problem with is maybe being the emotion and all of that stuff. But I will still just preach being open and doing that, you know, just doing what you need to do. Come to me, ask me whatever, and I'm gonna give it to you straight up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take off the parent hat and take off the, you know, the questioning. Where do you get that? I'm gonna just get what you need to know that you're answering the question. Then I'll do all the rest of the stuff, or maybe have mama do it or something. You know what I mean? But it's just knowing yourself and being comfortable and knowing you'll make mistakes and learn from them and follow them and be original, be true to yourself, and you'll be happy.
Can you explain, like, it's more like a general question. Can you explain, like, the difference between, like, being a hood-ass nigga and being a nigga that's actually from the streets, but, like, overcame that and knew the value of life and actually made some of himself, opposed to just being lazy and saying, well, I'm from the streets, niggas ain't gonna let me do shit, so I'm just gonna grind all day. Opposed to actually doing something, like you say, you respected your mom enough to go to school, like, that's big. I didn't know that about you. Like, the fact that you did that, like, it showed you more as a person, and then knowing where you came from, like, that's inspiring.
Well, I mean, that right there, you kind of answering yourself. It's just, I think it's either, it will come with time, but it's just all, like I said, self-knowledge. You self-analyzing yourself, looking into yourself, and being honest with yourself, and doing what you feel is right or what you think it is. Because, I mean, that's really the only difference between the hood nigga not doing something and the hood nigga that is doing something.
People get confused, though. They think that it's because, feel me, you in school because you got a job.
But no, I mean, that's like I said, that's what comes with all the labels, all the stigmas, all the other stuff that comes with stuff. Just because you got on the suit and you driving the Benz and you going to work, don't mean you a square. and it don't mean you not a hood nigga. And just because you on the block and you doing this and you doing that and your pants are sagging and you got that look, don't mean you a hood nigga or a street nigga. You know what I mean? Like, all of that packaging is just what it is, packaging. When you unwrap all the rest of that shit, you got a man or a woman, or a person, and their mind and their thoughts and their values, and that's what it comes down to. A lot of the times, the niggas that's on the street is just ignorant. And I don't even say ignorant in the word. I don't like to put the convictions on words or have those attachments to words. Ignorant isn't bad. Ignorant means you don't know. So if you that street nigga on the corner and you not really knowing of other stuff, and you're ignorant, that's all you know. That's all you know. You can't fault them. Now you get out and get a different view and da-da-da-da, and then you start picking and choosing your ways, then that's when the stupidity comes in. And that's when that hood nigga could have been a good nigga, but he a no good nigga. You feel me? Or that good nigga had the mindset and to look at what he was and to climb out. You know what I mean? That's what I say I am, but I didn't turn my back on nothing. I ain't forgot nothing. You know what I mean? It just comes down to the person and the individual and how in tune you are with yourself. Really.
It's like a two-dimensional question. You knowing the trade-off, when you started, school, like, oh, I'm wasting my time here. Hypothetically, do you think if you would have finished that you would be farther than where you are today?
No.
That's one question. The
No.
second question, do you feel that, no, I understand that. Do you feel that you disrespected your mother's wishes for you to continue to go to, get your education? Because I remember you saying earlier that she has her PhD and whatnot. Do you feel that you dishonored her in a way that you kind of scared off from school?
No. And I had to I had a conversation with my grandpa about that. My mom came to terms with it further than my grandpa. He still told me, like, last year, he was still mad I left Canada. And the situation that I told my mom and explained to him was the same thing I explained earlier. I knew leaving school would hurt them. Me being smart, being their child, like I said, still doing what I want to do and doing what they want to do. I didn't leave school and leave school. I left this school to another school. So I didn't leave education. I still took their advice and went to school. I just went the route that I felt was better for me, for my happiness. You know what I mean? So, like I said, for first part, no. I don't think if I stayed, I would have did anything different. Other than maybe athletically, I probably would have grinded and did stuff and got a little better with the athletic. You know what I mean? That's the only other thing. But as far as like grinding hard, going hard with school, like I said, my mindset was done from school at 10. You know what I mean? So that never changed. None of my stuff never changed. But the perception and how everyone viewed it made me open it up, realize it made me not care even more, or even say, you see how much of this don't matter, or how much you will put to the attachment of the school name. Like, I'm saying I'm leaving Cal to try to go to Clark, try to go to JCSU. Y'all, people are mad. Why do you need to leave Cal? Why does it matter where I'm leaving? Like, I'm still going to school. So I didn't really leave school. So my mom couldn't be unhappy. She was at the time, but one of her coworkers had to explain it to her just like how I explained it. The same thing, like, he's not leaving school. He just left there. You should be happy he's coming back to his school. You should be happy he sat down, thought this out, had a meeting with y'all before he did it. You know what I mean? Other than just saying, I'm out, and mom calling, why you ain't up at the dorm? I'm around the town. You feel me? Because I, for sure, easily could have been in the town. I ain't even from this side of the bridge. You feel me? I could have been right back in the Crest. I was. But I still coming to school and doing the things I need. But when I left, I could have stayed. You know what I mean? So I don't think anything would have went differently for me. I actually think things would have went differently for me if I left sooner. If I never came to Cal. If I got finished with high school and went straight to the trade school, straight to Expression, or straight to, Music Institute in LA, this would be a whole different interview right now, potentially. You know what I mean? Like, but staying, nah. Them being upset, I think they did feel kind of, they felt hurt over time. They see the man that I've become, and I'm still living off of their values and doing things that they taught. So, you know, it was just a change of pace. It was just a disappointment at the time of something, you know what I mean? But as they kept growing and seeing, like I said, I know brothers and females and people that went to school, finished, and they not working right now. I'm working with the state. You know what I mean? Just got promoted, other stuff, so I'm good.
You feel obligated to come to Cal? Like Murph, like any other school, you said, like Florida, all the other schools?
I never felt obligated. I felt I had to make a choice real quick and fast at the time. Like I said, I had everybody, any school I could have went to. I really wanted to do SC because that was, you know, the stigma of Bay to LA. Everybody up here was from LA and everybody from here trying to go to LA. You know what I mean? So it was like, I want to get away from the Bay, go to LA, do my music stuff. I done went to some, you know, some stuff at SC. So SC was like the school I wanted to go to. Besides sports, like that was the one school I was like, they have what I want musically, entertainment-wise. But a lot of them schools was trying to make me sign later and stuff. I wanted to sign early with the football team so I can do my whole senior year track worry-free. So I had to X out the ones that was trying to politrick me. I had to get with the ones that was really on me. Then I had to knock out which ones I wanted to really deal with. Then I had SAT, AC. I had a lot of stuff going down till I narrowed it down to Cal, Oregon, UW, Bama, and Cal. Point blank. So I wasn't obligated. It was just at the choices that I had, they were the best choice at the time. So that's why I came.
Isaiah Thomas is in his class too. He's not here tonight, but he always brings up with the student athlete, goes back and forth with Justin all the time. I'm like, give Justin an example. They go back and forth. Not to speak about you. No, that's all. But it's hilarious, so you gotta do it. But the point he makes is that you know the university is pimping you. You look at Cal, worst graduation rate in the Pac-12 with the football team. You can't name a famous hoop player that ever graduated. They all come back with their degree. So Cal emphasis is not on academics for athletes. It's on, you know, pimping. Clearly that. So he when he breaks it down, he says, well, you got to get the most out of being here. So you know you're getting pimped. That's clear. The numbers are still tell you getting pimped. But while you're here, you got an opportunity that some of these other people had to work their butts off for. Some of these, they ain't no affirmative action no more. These black students, you see me kind of because they grades, they fought to get in here, you know. So take advantage of the situation being here. So take class seriously, take your education seriously. Also, the example that you set for the younger kids. Like everyone can't run a football. Everyone can't jump 25 feet. Some of them kids have to do their homework to ever get an opportunity here that can set them up with a better life. So it's about setting that example compared to, you know, not going to school or whatever. And you see where that leads you, you know. So I was kind of wanting to get your feedback on that, any advice you may give to some of the, because there's a lot of student athletes in here. Some ones that do have a chance to go on to the next level and stuff. What kind of advice you give? And I'm telling you, kind of summarizing Isaiah's point of view. Who's a Hall of Famer? Who left school early, went back, finished the degree. You know, I don't need to get Isaiah Thomas' story. I mean, you know that whole piece. But then you have current athletes in here that debate with them.
Yeah.
Like, if I get my money, I'm getting my money.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was one of the things that held me here. More than sports, all the stuff, was the fact that I was in a position, I knew I was in a position that others wanted to be in. I knew I was at a school that others wanted to be in. So that was like, I was like, damn, like I'm living with somebody who's on 30% scholarship. You know what I mean? We still in the same place, but it's a different, you know, I go to the alumni meetings and all the alumni is coming shaking my hands doing that. They're not doing that with the rest of the track. You know what I mean? And I'm a freshman, you know what I mean? Or I'm just in my second year, ain't really proved nothing. So me being, like I said, the man trying to build a unity, the type of man that's for the people, I'm like, can I give mine to spread mine up to people? Like, I don't want it. I got food and I ain't hungry. And I'm living with my niggas who's starving. And I want to give them the food and y'all ain't going to let me. But coming back to me knowing myself and having that it come down to my happiness. Am I going to stay here with the food that I don't want and be unhappy? Or do I find my happiness? I had to find my happiness. And if that meant giving that back and giving that up and having people point at me like, you gave, because they did. You gave away a fool's car. You left Cal, did? Yeah. But all that did was strengthen me to be like, watch what I do without that shit. You know what I mean? And even for the ones that are in and they goal is to get that money and do all that stuff, at the time, I didn't know about the being pimped and stuff here. You know what I mean? I started to figure that out here while being pimped. And in that age and in that realm, you know, we react. So I can't sit and think and talk about it like I am now, or even from you, you know what I mean? Even just how you said that back to me right now at 20, I wouldn't have heard you that same way, because I was hearing that same stuff. I'm worried about what I want and what I need and feel right now. You know what I mean? I had the other parts too, but for those that have that, whatever, that's why I say know yourself first and that knowledge to whatever your goal is in the long run, look at that and accept all the rest of that bullshit. If you trying to get to the league, whatever league that is, you know you have to get through school. Do that. I was in the track shit. So it was Olympics. I made the 04 Olympics. As a as a senior in high school, 17 years old, I made 04 Olympics. I was invited. I happened to pull my hamstring the jump after jumping nation, #1 in the nation. So I couldn't participate. But my mind wasn't on a down road. For one, my mind was I always kept on my music. Like I said, when I didn't see the stuff for the football, track ain't no money. It's not really that money in it. So for me, getting through staying in school for track it's not that important. You know what I mean? Football, basketball, baseball, maybe. There's a bigger picture that you can clearly see and you can accept the bullshit in between. You know what I mean? But it still comes down to whatever athlete, whatever person, it still comes down to doing what you want to do for yourself, regardless of the rest of the alumni, of the ex-athletes, of the current, of everybody else in your ear saying the coulda, wouldas, you should appreciate this. Why don't you try harder? Maybe if you're not happy, it don't matter what you're doing. If I'd rather been happy shoveling shit than to be here, shit, I come. Here I come. You feel me? With my shovel. Happy. I don't care. But if I'm in a unhappy situation, don't stay in that. Unless, like I said, you are striving for that and you have that mindset to where even if you don't get it, don't say you wasted none of that time or don't, you know what I mean? You accepted it. Accept it, own it, get through it. When it's done and over, you can't change it. Work with what you've been built or what you learned and try to use it positively, even if you broke your leg and you got hurt or all that other stuff. Shit gonna happen in life. But knowing yourself, doing what you need to do for yourself, once you do that, all the rest of them other people doing things, it ain't even gonna matter. So I understand and I respect that, and I thought of that too. But you know, you just gonna have to do what you got to do for that athlete.
Little kids, because Isaiah also brought up, being from Chicago and stuff, about setting that example for those other kids coming up.
Yeah.
How about those kids in the crest that coming up and they see, you made it, or they see their cousin over there getting his grind on?
Yeah, well, I mean, my little...
Is there any responsibility you think that's there? That's what he brought up. I was bringing up the points he brought up.
I would tell him the same thing. Don't stay if you got to. Don't follow me just because don't follow my road. I'm a real model. So I'm going to show you my mistakes. I'm going to show you I cut. I came, I was accepted, I had it, I gave it back. That it wasn't what I wanted. My little brother at the time, he was getting recruited by Cal. He was coming out of my old high school, Bethel. You know what I mean? He ended up going to the Niners, doing stuff. He in the IFL now. We still training and everything. Everybody was wanting to come here because Shaadie was here. Money Lynch was here. Rob was here. The niggas they seen growing up is here. So I want to come here too. We like, nah, don't come. Literally telling them, this ain't the place, bro. We hungry. You see where we at every other day, weekend. We right back out here with y'all to get a fresh of realness of, we can't. So no, this ain't the place. You know what I mean? This specifically for a young black male of our demographic, no. At that time and that stuff, no. So I mean, I would just preach to them the same thing I'm preaching to the grown folks. Follow your path. It's cool to look up to me and do all that stuff, but it may not be what you expected if you got here and you did it because Shaadie was there. and your whole goal through school and all of that was to be like Shaadie, be like you. You know what I mean? So our influence is that, but I'd rather influence with my words and my actions than to just be like, follow me, or just be like, do what I say.
I guess my question is, you came into 2004?
Yeah.
So you was here when Leon was here?
Who?
Leon Pope.
Yeah,
Okay. You know DeMarcus Nelson?
that's my cousin.
Okay. All right, so you know Ron, right?
Huh?
Ron Nelson?
Yeah, that's,
Okay, good.
yeah.
So I guess my question is, can I work with DeMarcus? I work with Leon and everything? I can't speak for Montgomery, because I know he was a different kind of guy, right? But my question is, who was advising you when you made your college choice? Because for a lot of the basketball players, I know, and this Quame made your videotape, right?
Yeah.
I know for a fact, DeMarcus got taken care of. I know for a fact, Leon was getting taken care of.
Exactly.
So I'm saying, do you think, because I don't know track, I mean, but was there somebody like an older black man that could have been, to help you, like you would help somebody right now? You still come from when you come up and say, I think, say, hey dude, let me go over here and let the track coach know, my boy ain't running for you unless you do that. And I think that sometimes that black male role model's missing.
Yeah.
To step in that thing, and maybe that's what you could play now, but I was wondering if you had that.
No, I didn't. I had the opposite. I had coaches telling me not to come to camp. You know what I mean? I had people, well, you signed with us, what? Why you didn't tell me that? You know what I mean? Like, where were you in your opinion before all of this? You wanted to pick me out and show me that, oh, you taught me. Didn't nobody teach me track. I got into track because I broke my arm for football freshman year, and I needed to do it. I needed to stay in shape. I'm out there with a cast as a freshman, and I end up jumping 20 feet my freshman year and running 11 flat, you know what I mean? And was like, this shit is cool. Let me try this out. My body type is already like I always wanted to run, but it was still always football, music. I didn't have nobody else, and I had everybody trying to say, I taught him this. Man, you taught me one little piece. I've been watching the stars and practicing my own. I didn't have nobody there. My mom, she wasn't about the sports. It was just, UC Berkeley. They coming after you, it's free. Go there. I'm like, what is UC Berkeley? They got track. Like, the only thing I knew at UC Berkeley was when she worked at Extension in the 90s. You know what I mean? And I was up here and I'm seeing liberals and the 60s and stuff like that. I didn't know about no sports. And the band thing. That was the only thing that I knew. Y'all got track team, y'all got this, y'all got... So, I mean, I didn't have an influence. And that's what I would say, too. Even if I just... Not even a male. Even if I was out here in the Bay still. I was in 6 SAC. I'm sorry for anybody who's from SAC. I call it sick-ass SAC. I went to Sheldon. Marky came to Sheldon because I came there. That's why he came. But, you know, I didn't have even the friends around here that was like, oh yeah, I'm going here, I'm going there. You know, Sean and Phil and Rob, they packaged themselves together. Exactly. You know what I mean? And then when I got with my boy Ed Wright, who came from yeah, you know my name Ed Wright, who came from St. Mary's and everything. That's my bruh. Once we got to know each other and click, we got to talking. We had all the same schools. And I was like, damn, bro, if I knew you, we would have went to, we was both, I was trying to go to Florida State. I was trying to go to Florida State. Except when I went to Miami and coach, it was like, yeah, we'll give you a football scholarship and a track scholarship. I'm standing there like, I can't breathe out here. It's too hot. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But that's why I say in the hindsight, I'm thinking about just 4 years. I'm not even realizing, oh, my body will adapt. I said, I'm fresh off the plane from Cali. I'm like, oh, shit. It's Florida. I'm at the supermarket. I try to talk to a little black chick. She starts speaking Haitian. I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. You know what I mean? But this ain't Tallahassee. I'm in Miami. You know what I mean? So I was ignorant to a lot of those things. And then, like I said, my mom's not coming at me with the athletic line. She coming at me like, me, go to school, go to whatever, who's giving free. So I didn't have that. I didn't get.
Or in the music, you think Quame played a role in that for you? You see what I mean? That
yeah, exactly.
There's always that guy.
Yeah, I didn't have that for the sports. I didn't have that for the sports.
Yeah, I want to ask you, there's a lot of like student leaders in here and stuff, and you said we are like a lack of direction. You talking like how hip hop is messed up right now. I want to ask, like, how do we kind of find that direction and go back to actually move towards something as a people?
Who you listen to?
You bet.
Why you like him?
Because you talk about some real shit.
Follow him. Support him. Listen to what these niggas is saying. And if you feel it and you like it like that, rock with them. That's the only way. The only difference is us as the artists, we gotta have more fans like you that's gonna rock with whoever they rock with. And promote them and push them. I don't really run into a lot of Lupe fans. I hear a lot of motherfuckers say they slapping 2 Chainz or Kendrick Lamar and all of this stuff. But is that because you like him, or is it because he's always seen? Is it because he's in your face and you just like him because you're supposed to like him? Or is it you like him because, you know what I mean? Like, listen to what they saying. Follow and believe if you think that's real or that's what you want to support, and support them. Tell everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, rock them. Get a shirt. Get us something. Y'all are what make us. I ain't nothing if y'all ain't promoting me. I didn't download 1,500 downloads of my mixtape. Y'all did. You know what I mean? People I don't know. The only difference is I'm the only one tweeting it and doing stuff. So, and you know what I mean? It's just, you gotta, that's the direction. Us as the artists, we have to get back to at least doing what we feel is real or some substance or something, but that's still pertaining on the person. Like I said, if you choose to do quote unquote dumb music or just whatever it is for the money or the hype, you're never going to be able to get your original or authentic or none of that stuff and people to take you serious like that. But if you come in and you like, bro, this is how I am, this is what it is, and other people respect it, buy it. Burn it, download it, give it away, support that artist, because we have to start it off, and then we're just giving it to y'all to be like, bro, you fuck with it? You fuck with it? Oh, you fuck with it? Tell her. Oh, you fuck with it? Oh, you fuck with it? Tell her. That's all we need y'all to do, and support that, and download, and burn, and retweet, especially in this day and age. So it's a responsibility for a bold soul to really do their history, do their homework, take their time, and get their stuff out. And then it's up to y'all to hear that, recognize that, and not be like, oh, it don't sound like so-and-so, so I ain't listening to it. You know what I mean? Hear it and recognize it and give that nigga that chance. And if you think he weak, then he weak. You know what I mean? But if you think this is real, then that's what you need to push, especially if you already are thinking this is what the game needs. Make everybody else feel that shit too. Just like you would do if you were selling that dro or that molly or them clothes or whatever. Whatever you believe in, you feel and you're passionate about, they'll hear that when you speak it. And it's on them if they feel the same way or you make them feel the same way, and then you got the CD. You know what I mean? Like, I could be like, bro, what's your, let me hear some Lupe right now. I never heard of him. You know what I mean? You should be able to pull it out. Boop, 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 boop. Here, bro. Stay on repeat. Number 12. Listen to that one. You know what I mean? You should have that. Like, nowadays, it's like, bro, what's your favorite 2 Chainz song? Oh. Just put one of them on. They all slap. So that's really all it is. It's a 2-part thing. We have to be bold enough to make it real, and then y'all have to recognize it and push it for us.
I have a piggyback on Sean's question, and I think it deals with the question of education. So I wanted to ask you because because like you said, you left one school and went to another school, and even being outside of school, we meet every Wednesday, and I pretty much require that you, once you finish a book, you ask, what's the next one? So can you kind of name, because I want them to understand that your outlook on knowledge and education goes beyond just going to a #1 university. So, like, what sort of books have you read, and what's your whole outlook on just education outside of certain school walls? Like,
you gotta start learning.
Name some of the books.
The history.
You can remember.
I mean, I got them written down, but I ain't gonna go through the whole list. I mean, I've read everything from Frantz Fanon's Wretched of the Earth to Codis Magica by Tex Mars. I just picked up Secrets of the Federal Reserve by Eustace Mullins, The Secret Covenant. Yeah, a lot of things. You know what I mean? From those things to school stuff, like I said, to that, to man, just, Art of War, Sun Tzu, to Monster by, Sonique Shakur, like everything. I want to know why so-and-so is doing this. I want to know why I like the things that I like. What's the history on those things? What's their tactics in, the Council of Foreign Relations? Why are they doing things? What are they running? Where are money coming from? What is happening? Who's running what? Who's controlling what? How do they control it? Because like I said, I view things on a different wavelength. So I'm connecting those dots. I'm seeing those concepts or their tactics, and then I'm applying it to what I want to do. So I may use the concept or the tactics of the Committee 300 and put that into a record label and run my business like how Federal Reserve is running their business and using their schemes or using tactics of COINTELPRO on what they did on Black Panthers and pinning East and West Coast against each other on the tactics on what to look for on if that may happen to me or what I can use to shape that into how can I get this and this to start doing that together. It's not always just, well, if I do this and I do that, it's bad or it's wrong. It's many different ways to do stuff. You just have to have those different viewpoints. So I'm going to review, Pac and all his stuff. Then I'm going to review who didn't like Pac and see why they didn't like Pac. And then I'm going to go off of that research on their reasons. Everybody got a reason on whatever. So it's not just one set of knowledge. You got to find everything. You got to be able to know a little bit about everything. I mean, I'm smart enough to know I don't know everything, but I know a little bit about everything. I don't know a lot or everything about one thing, you know what I mean? But I can, I want to know this, I want to know that, just to be aware about symbols, about all of this stuff, because everything's a reason. And in that's why all of my things and everything we do is so methodical, so strategic. It's a purpose. You look at the mixtape, you look at this, it's a purpose. You look at even how I dress or how I do things, it's a purpose. And if you ask about, I'll have a reason for everything. For anything you can ask me, I'll have a reason for it. And I feel that that's what you're supposed to do. If you like Nike, why? And if you can't come up with that reason, then accept that I like Nike because of whatever reason they put on me. Or because I saw such and such. I wear polo because of what? I don't wear polo because of what? I like this person. That you got to start having those answers. And you might be talking to somebody that knows about that subject and to bring up something and you like, I don't know nothing else about that. So somebody might be like, did you know that means da-da-da-da-da? You're wearing the devil on your shirt. And you're like, what? You know what I mean? And I'm going to go review that. I'm going to review both sides. So one thing leads to the next, and I'm not trying to be walking around here dumb. You know what I mean? But I'm not finna walk around like, hey, this means that, and I know that. And life is a game, and you got to play that shit. I'm a player.